Hey folks, today's coding interview question is install a Prometheus server on a Ubuntu VM and then prove that it is actually scraping data from itself. So it has a target on itself that's scraping data from it. So we have to install, and you're welcome to use ChatGPT or Google or whatever to get this done. The reason we're going to allow ChatGPT because to get Prometheus installed correctly, there's several steps that you have to know, and you couldn't possibly know them all by in your memory. And also, even when you use ChatGPT, you will see that some of the steps will not work, and then you're going to use Google or ChatGPT to troubleshoot those problems. So let's get started. So you go to ChatGPT and ask a simple question: How to install Prometheus server? By the way, if you like my content, please subscribe. That helps my channel. Prometheus server on a Ubuntu VM. For a little while, it will look like I'm just copying and pasting commands. And that's okay because what we'll see is just by copying and pasting commands, it will still not work fully and then we'll have to troubleshoot. And even for that, I'm going to use ChatGPT. The point is not to memorize anything. Its point is to figure out how to get to the end goal, right? Okay, so I'm not going to bother with the first two steps because I don't think that they're not really necessary. They're just kind of precautionary. Well, I don't think we're going to need that. So we're going to copy this command to create a user. Oh, before that, I need to create a machine. So as you've seen in my previous videos, I have a script that I run from my Ansible repo that creates a VM for as an Ansible control host. It's only a control host in name only. It doesn't really have anything on it. So we can just use the same script to actually create the virtual machines in a Google Cloud. So I think it's 001 something. Yeah. First, we're going to create the virtual machine. The target nodes part are actually commented out, so they're not going to get installed. Just one VM is going to get installed. It's going to have the wrong name. It's going to say Ansible control host, but we don't really care as long as we can get to the machine. It is now running. Now I'm going to SSH to the box so we can run this command. Okay, now I'm on the box. Host name. And no, I'm not. Oh, it returned 205 because it wasn't really ready. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to be for SSH daemon to come up. If we run it again, we should be able to SSH to the box. And here we are. If I do host name, see that. Also, if I do curl, I believe it config.me, I believe, you get the external IP address of the box. So from a different terminal, I should be able to ping this machine from my Mac. Okay, so ping is not allowed, so that's fine. Okay, so anyway, I'm on the box now. I'm going to start running these commands one by one. First, I'm going to create the user. That's done. Now we're going to create a couple of directories. I could have put them all in one script, but the problem with that is it will actually fail. So I would like to go through step by step and troubleshoot them as the problems happen. That's done. Now we're going to cd to temp and download Prometheus tar file. cd/temp. Let's download the file. Did it download the file? I did. Okay, so now we're going to untar it. Basically extract all the files from it. Now it's going to create this directory. We're going to cd into that. And we're going to make a bunch of links to the right place. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't move. It really should do a copy, but Anyway, to that, let's make a copy of this into the right place. Oh, I have to do sudo. Copy this Prometheus binary. I'm not sure what prompt tool even is, but we will oblige. Okay, I did that. Now we'll set some permissions on these boxes. I should be able to copy the whole thing actually. Okay, that should have been done. We can check it if you like. We do lsl that lsl r that is nothing there. Okay, anyway, it's if we do ls-l var lib Prometheus is owned by Prometheus, you see. Okay, so that's done. Those permissions are done. We're going to move some, again, I'm not going to move, I'm going to copy them. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. So we will, actually to make life easier, I'm going to copy all these 4 commands. So it takes shorter time. That's done. I'm not going to use nano, I'm going to use VI. I'm going to basically configure the service file for Prometheus so we can actually start up Prometheus as a service. Sudo VI add. And in here, we're going to put some default configurations. Pardon me. Recovering from a cold, which is why my voice is also messed up. So description, not sure what that all means. This is where we had to create the users in the first place. And they're all the YAML file is here. You see, Prometheus.yaml file. And I think that should do it. Okay, so that's the service config file. It's done. Okay, this is where it's going to fail. So I'm going to do, it's going to fail because there's a permissions that it didn't actually set. So if we do that, that will work. But if we do a start, it should fail. Interesting. Last time it did. Let's try this. Maybe it's the enable part that fails. Interesting. Okay. That's cool. So maybe I'm not going to have to worry about the problem. Let's see. Let's see what the status of the Prometheus server is. Wow, last time I had a problem. This time I don't have that problem. That's really cool. Okay, so if we do that, if it's running, I should see it pop up in netstat in port 9090. But you will see the netstat is not installed, so I'm going to go ahead and install netstat to prove to myself that Prometheus is indeed running on that port. As you can see, it's running on localhost. It's also forwarding to IPv4 and IPv6. It doesn't explicitly say IPv4, but it's actually running. So now it is running. So in theory, let's get the IP address of this box. No, I didn't mean to do that. History. I didn't mean to download the binary again. Well, I wanted to run this command to get my IP address. This is the IP address of this box. So in theory, and it will fail, I should be able to go to this IP address, port 9090, and it will just hang. Why does it hang? Because in Google Cloud, by default, that port is not allowed through the firewall. So I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to go to my GCP console, and I'm going to go into Compute Engine. No, that's the IP address. But what I really wanted to go to is the firewall. So go into firewall, and for the sake of time, I'm going to actually cheat, and I'm going to actually, instead of adding a whole new rule, I'm just going to add port 9090 to this rule that already allows SSH. You see, it's TCP/22. That's how we're able to SSH to the box. But I'm going to go into that rule, and I'm going to edit that rule. It's okay, not only allow 22, but also allow 9090. Okay, and save that rule. Okay, it's taking it a time. Okay, that's done. So now I should be able to go 9090 on that IP address. And by default, there's no authentication. So you're already on the Prometheus servers, you're looking at stuff. So now our assignment was to prove that it's scraping itself. So it turns out there's a thing called up. It tells you how many targets it's actually monitoring. So if I execute that PromQL query, it tells me that it's actually monitoring one target on localhost 9090, and that's one. So this is proof that Prometheus server is up and running and is actually monitoring itself. All right, I hope you found this useful. If you did, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.